Good morning, Alyssa. Are you working this morning too? I heard your husband Henry is a high-flying banking executive. Is it true? Surely you don't have to work so hard when your man's bringing in that much money. I fail to see why you'd be so desperate to sacrifice yourself as a corporate cannon fodder cubicle slave to a company that couldn't care less about you. If I were you, I'd be pouring all that energy into being the best stay-at-home housewife there ever was to make sure Henry had all of his needs provided for, if you catch my drift. If it was me, I'd sure as heck wouldn't be slacking on my womanly duties like you are. Oh, Henry is just so dreamy. He's so wasted on good-for-nothing corporate livestock like you. How on earth did you manage to bag yourself such a high-quality guy in the first place? I fail to see what he sees in you. If he's truly honest with himself, I'm sure he'd probably rather have a loyally devoted stay-at-home housewife like me as his wife. Good morning, Christine. Reading through your deluded fantasies first thing in the morning is so disgusting it's making me want to throw up. So would you kindly stop spamming my message box with your hate? Thanks. Huh? Disgusting? How dare you speak to me like that? Henry says he'll always love me whether I work or not. Oh dear, would you look at that? She accuses me of being delusional while coming up with ridiculous fantasies of her own. There's no way any man would ever say that, darling. Everyone knows men only look for two things in a woman: big boobs and good cooking. Are you sure all that working hasn't fried your neural circuits? You really should think before you speak sometimes. A high-flying stud like Henry, happy with a working wife? Now I've heard it all. My train will be arriving at the station soon and I have to make it to work, so I gotta go. Goodbye. Oh, how sad. You're such corporate livestock, you don't even have the freedom to message when you want to. That can only mean you probably don't have enough time to talk to your husband either. Oh dear, that poor man. Henry must be really lonely and sexually unsatisfied with you as his wife. If it was me with that ring on my finger, I'd become a stay-at-home housewife and listen to his troubles until the early hours. I'd be there for him whenever he needed me, his solid, dependable rock, his shoulder to cry on. Listen, Alyssa, don't you think it's best for Henry that you divorce him? At this rate, he'll be stuck with you for the rest of his life. Truly a fate worse than death.
Hey, Alyssa. I'm taking a late lunch break right now. What was that woman's name again? You know, the annoying one from kindergarten.
Huh?
You know, the one you said was a pain in the ass to talk to. The one who keeps insulting you. Calling you stuff like corporate livestock, bugging you all the time with random hate-filled messages.
Oh, Christine?
Ah, that's it. So that was her name.
Did something happen with her?
Well, she's been waiting in the lobby of the bank all morning. She's only just left.
Jesus, are you kidding me? You mean she showed up to your workplace at the bank by the station?
Yeah, she was here until about an hour ago. I had a suspicion that was who she was, so I didn't go over and speak to her myself, but when I asked one of my coworkers to go over and see what she wanted, apparently, she pretty much ignored everything he asked her while staring at me as I dealt with another customer before suddenly getting up and walking out.
Wow, incredible. She must really have a lot of free time on her hands.
Is that all this is?
Gah, nope, no. I think there's actually more to it. I wasn't sure whether I should tell you about this, but if she's doing weird stuff like showing up at your workplace now, I think it's for the best that you know.
Know what? What is it?
I think Christine might be trying to steal you from me.
Steal me? From you?
She just showed up at your workplace, right? I think that from now on, at least for the foreseeable future, you should operate under the assumption that you're being stalked.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yep, I'm serious. To tell you the truth, she's been sending me lots of messages recently that would indicate that's what she's trying to do. To be honest, a part of me suspected she might do something crazy, but I guess the rest of me didn't want to accept it. Then finally, the other day, I got a message that made it as plain as day that what she's trying to do here is cause me and you to get a divorce.
Man, I can't believe this. Christine, seriously? She's about as far away from being my type of woman as could possibly be. And look, to tell you the truth, I hate girls who act the way she does.
I know that, which is why I know there's no danger of you ever looking at her in that way, and honestly, I'd be happy just to ignore her if she didn't cause anyone any problems. But if she's already doing crazy stuff like showing up at your workplace while you're on shift, we might have to start proceeding with a little more caution.
I'll tell you what, babe. I'll explain the situation to my boss so that if she shows up again, you can be ready this time. Let's just see how things play out for now.
Yeah, good idea. It'll help if your coworkers know what she looks like. I'll be on my guard too. I'll let you know if she says anything else, okay? Sorry for keeping this from you, Henry. I just didn't want to bother you is all, but I never expected her to start acting like this.
Don't worry about it, Alyssa. I totally understand why you didn't tell me. All right, I have to go. Catch you later. Alyssa, that woman is totally insane.
What happened?
It's Christine. She started working at the convenience store across the road from the bank.
She started doing what?
When I went to the store before work to grab some sandwiches and a drink for my lunch, I was browsing the sandwiches when she slithered around the corner from behind me all of a sudden, wearing one of the store uniforms. Then positioned herself between me and the sandwich counter so we were facing each other head on, and there was like 1 centimeter between us, and stared at me intently with the creepiest, most spine-chilling smile I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god, that sounds like something out of a horror movie. Wait a sec. So she suddenly has a job after calling me corporate livestock all this time? At a convenience store, no less?
Hey, that's a good point. Do you think she knows?
I'm guessing she started working there because she doesn't. I'm gonna do a little digging. Will you carry on keeping an eye on her for the time being? Make sure she doesn't notice you if you can avoid it, though. It's important we don't let our guard down here. There's no telling what she might do next.
Got it. You're right, Alyssa. You too, babe. Stay safe.
Hey, Alyssa. If I told you my plan to get closer to Henry was going amazingly well, what would you say? He is such a sweetheart. Can you believe he's been using his breaks from work to come and see me? But when I stare deep into his eyes, he gets embarrassed and averts his gaze. Isn't that the sweetest thing? My Henry is the cutest. I bet you never get to see his tender side like that, do you? Are you jealous? Go on, you are, aren't you? It's okay to admit you're in pain, honey. Anyone would be in your situation. Love is the most amazing thing. I don't need to hear any more about your absurd delusions, thanks. Excuse me? Listen, Alyssa. It's becoming increasingly obvious to me now that you don't know your place. Should I put you out of your misery and tell you? My place? You seem totally oblivious to it, but you should know that you're already well on the way to being divorced by a hunky Henry, and living a life of despairing isolation and poverty as a single mother. The wheels are in motion, my dear, and there are no brakes on this train. As for me, my future as Henry's wife is already a dead certainty. Everyone knows that to have a rich, handsome husband is the ultimate status symbol for any woman. Basically, soon I'll have reached the peak of female excellence, and my status will be higher than all of the moms at kindergarten put together. And obviously, this part should go without saying, but it's your job as the lowest IQ moron of all the moms at kindergarten to follow my orders and do exactly as I say. That's why I hereby order you to divorce your husband. Hand him over. He's mine. Wow, this is really quite something, Christine. You know, just because you just got divorced yourself doesn't give you the right to go around trying to get your claws into other girls' guys. Huh? What the hell? What are you talking about? Me? Divorced? I didn't get divorced at all. No. That's not how this goes down at all. What's actually going to happen is that once mine and Henry's engagement is official, I'll be filing for divorce with my husband, but not a moment before. That convenience store across the road from the bank Henry works at, you started working part-time there a little while ago, right? Huh? How do you know that? According to my conversations with the other staff who work the same shift as you at the store, you've been going around seemingly half bragging about how your husband divorced you when he found out you had another boyfriend, and how you didn't have a choice but to pay him every cent of the compensation he demanded from you in court. You told them all about the circumstances leading up to your divorce with such boldness and forthrightedness that it almost seemed like you were proud of it. The reason you suddenly got a job after ridiculing me for God knows how long for being a working woman while extolling the virtues of being a stay-at-home housewife is because you suddenly owed your ex-husband massive amounts of compensation after the divorce and no longer had anyone to support you. You had no choice but to get a job and actually support yourself for a change, right? No. Oh my God. Wait a sec. How did you... That's not all. You were constantly bragging about how your new boyfriend worked at the bank across the road. You wouldn't have happened to have been talking about my husband, Henry, would you? It's actually impressive that you're still totally oblivious to how much you disgust him. To quote him, "She makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end." Your visits to the bank have even gotten so bad that his co-workers have been forced to talk to you several times and are now considering banning you from the premises entirely. And yet you still don't have a clue how unwelcome you are, do you? No. You hold your horses for just 1 second, Missy. What the hell is this? Those were all personal conversations held in the privacy of the convenience store staff room. How would you know about them? You don't even work there. Yep, I knew it. You don't know, do you? I guess it was only a recent development. What was? I'm the area manager for every single store in the region. Huh? The hiring of part-time and temp workers is still down to the store manager, so I don't have any say in that. But come to think of it, I still haven't shown my face at the store while you've been on shift, have I? Area manager? Wait, I've heard that title before. Aren't they even more important than the store manager? And it's you? Yep, it's me. In other words, I'm your boss. What? This is some kind of joke. You cannot be serious. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. You're fired. What the heck? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Listen, Christine, the thing is, I've been receiving constant complaints from the store manager about how you have an awful attitude and refuse to do any work at the store. You were so busy bragging about your alleged boyfriend working at the bank across the road that you thought you were above doing anything else, like you were somehow exempt from doing the job you were literally just hired to do. You even went as far as harassing Henry's co-workers at the bank when they stopped by the store to buy their lunch by aggressively trying to extract information about my husband from them. Don't even get me started on when Henry himself came in. You followed him so closely you may as well have been glued to him. You weren't only reported to the store manager by your co-workers, but you even made other customers feel uncomfortable with your creepy, unacceptable behavior. Me? Reported to the store manager? I had him check the surveillance cam footage, and sure enough, your conduct at work was horrendous. So after stopping by for a meeting with the manager, we decided that you stepping down was the only realistic solution, because we sure as hell couldn't let you carry on working there. Oh my God, you're horrible! To think you're abusing your powers as area manager just because Henry is about to leave you for me? This is disgusting. I'll have you in court for this. That's your response to everything I just told you? Seriously? I guess I shouldn't be surprised after everything, but you still somehow managed to astound me. You should know that Henry has zero intention of leaving, nor divorcing me. Huh? What do you mean? Don't be silly. Of course he does. How can you still not get it? I literally just told you. You've been causing Henry a world of trouble and he is sick of you. Me? He's sick of me? Want some proof? How about the fact he's barely been stopping by the store since you started stalking him every time he showed up? You must have noticed he hasn't been around as much, right? He hated you following him around so much that he started getting his coworkers to pick up his lunch instead of having to face you himself. What? No, but Henry loves me. Anyway, you'll probably receive official notice from the store manager soon. You're fired. We won't be needing you to show up for your shift tomorrow. No way, but I worked so hard to get this job and I need the money. I just got divorced, goddammit. My husband even took custody of our son. My life's a dumpster fire, for crying out loud. I am barely managing to get by as it is. And now you're saying I'm fired? Ugh. I don't want to have to look for a new job. I worked so hard to get this one. In that case, you should have worked a little harder to keep a hold of it instead of using it as an opportunity to stalk my husband. Make no mistake, the reason for your dismissal is the continued refusal to do even the bare minimum of work. If you'd just done your job and not stalked my husband, I would have had no issue with keeping you on. But you're the area manager. Surely all it will take is one word from you and this whole thing would go away, right? Excuse me? Me and you are friends, right? We became best friends after meeting outside the kindergarten. Your husband took full custody of your son, did he not? Huh? Which means our kids, our initial point of contact, no longer serve as a medium through which I am forced to continue our relationship. I'll never have to tolerate you outside of kindergarten again, and I gotta tell you, Christine, I am super relieved by that. What? You're relieved? All right, I think we're done here. Alyssa, please wait. I can't cope on my own. I mean it. I'm all alone and I don't know what to do. See ya. I was shocked to discover the reason Christine initially got the hots for my husband is because he was the bank clerk who helped her make the compensation payment to her ex-husband after he divorced her. Henry, being good at his job, was naturally very friendly and polite to her and kept a smile on his face throughout the whole interaction. Christine, being completely insane, mistook that as him having a crush on her. When I asked Henry about it, he said he didn't even remember it. Eventually, Christine, after having her life smashed into smithereens by the mother of all deluded misunderstandings and an unhealthy obsession with other women's husbands, had no choice but to move back in with her parents in the middle of nowhere. However, around the same time, she got wind of the news that her first ever boyfriend had just divorced his wife. True to form, of course, crazy Christine interpreted this as him wanting to rekindle their old flame and spend the rest of his life with her. With that, she launched a stalking campaign so intense, it made what she did to Henry look like a warm-up. She lay in wait outside the poor guy's house every night before trying to force her way inside with him when he got back from work. When that failed, she crammed his postbox full with thousands upon thousands of love letters. Eventually, he was so terrified he got the police involved, leading to a restraining order being put out and Christine having to pay thousands of dollars in compensation. Before long, the whole town knew about her insane shenanigans, and her parents were forced to kick her out due to the shame and embarrassment. I have no idea where she is now, and to be honest, I couldn't be more pleased about that.
Hey, miss. It's been a heckin' long time. How have you been, girl? How long's it been? We must be going on 7 years now. Damn, it flew by. Feels like all that stuff went down a lifetime ago, and at the same time, it's like it was yesterday. It's funny how that works, huh?
Sorry, but would you mind telling me who you are?
You kidding me? It's me, Biff, you donut. Couldn't you tell? 'Cause I'm messaging you from a different number.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? It's me, Biff, your ex-boyfriend. Hang on, maybe that's not the best way of wording it. Your beloved ex-boyfriend and favorite person in the whole wide world, Biff. That's better. Remember me now?
If you're going to talk nonsense, would you mind doing it when I'm not busy? I get the impression you didn't message me for any real reason in particular, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going now.
Hey, come on, Denise. I obviously did message you for a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be messaging you, would I? But quit jumping to conclusions and hear me out, alright? Sheesh.
Fine, what do you want? You better make it quick.
I decided to take you back.
Excuse me?
That's right. You heard me. I bet you're not so eager to get back to work right now, huh? It's an attractive offer, right? Right?
Which part of what you just said is attractive?
Huh?
7 years ago, when I was 26, you said to me you were bored of me because I was a worn-out old hag well past my prime and broke up with me, describing me as being on the wrong side of 30. After that, you immediately got with an 18-year-old, fresh out of college intern from our workplace. Does any of this ring any bells, Biff?
Sure, everything you say is true. It's not like I deny it, but I was young back then, babe. I've matured a lot since then.
You were turning 31 years old, 5 years older than me.
Men and women age differently. Unlike a woman, a man hits his prime when he turns 30. Women? Well, I hate to say this, babe, but it's all downhill from there. Things that used to be beautiful and plump start sagging. Things that used to shimmer and glow start wrinkling up. Basically, 30 is where women hit the wall.
In that case, why on earth would you be interested in getting back with me? I'm 33 now. I shouldn't have to spell it out, but that means I'm older than I was when you broke up with me. You don't think time froze and I stayed 26 this whole time, right?
Don't be silly, babe. That's clearly ridiculous. I forget how funny you can be sometimes, Denise. I always did like that about you.
All right, so I take it we're done here?
Wait, why?
Because me and you are not getting back together. What else is there for us to discuss? You're doing nothing but wasting my valuable time here.
No, wait just a sec, damn it. It's been so long since we spoke. Are you really going to dip out on me like this? Let's at least chat a little while longer. You know, reminisce over the good old days. Talk about what we've been up to all this time.
Do you really think I have that much free time on my hands?
Whatever. Don't worry about that. I'm sure whatever stuff you need to do can wait. Sometimes it's good to catch up with an old flame, you know? Hey, wait a sec. What's wrong, babe? Scared you, I don't know, catch feelings from me again? I guess I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Ew, that's one of the cringiest things I've ever heard.
Cringy? Hey, no, whatever. Look, I guess I always admired how you said exactly what was on your mind. You're kind of cute when you get all feisty, you know, babe.
Yep, gross.
Anyway, I heard some stuff. Is it true you changed jobs after we broke up? Heard you landed a job at a major New York-based company.
What's it to you?
Well, me and the girl you just mentioned actually moved to New York after the breakup. A crazy coincidence, right?
I knew that. So what?
Wait, you did?
Of course I did. I worked in the department next door on the same floor as you both. She was an intern being trained up on your department after graduating college, right? What was her name again? Was it Rena? How could I forget the time the two of you skipped across the office holding hands while singing, "We're going to New York," to hand in your resignation letter to the manager? I swear it was the most embarrassing, vomit-inducing thing I've ever seen. I could tell your head was so clouded by your feelings for her you'd completely lost all of your rational decision-making skills, because why the heck else would a fully grown man act like a 12-year-old kid in front of his coworkers like that?
I see. Is that really how happy we looked back then?
I guess happy is one word for it, but some might prefer to describe it as hopelessly delusional or maybe childish.
I see. Well, I get what this is. I didn't realize how jealous we were making you at the time, babe. I'm sorry. It must have really sucked to see your man having such a great time with another woman like that.
Jealousy? Don't flatter yourself. I am obviously insulting you, you pea-brain.
I guess the fact that you thought about it that much betrays just how much you cared about me. I guess I can't blame you. You're hardly going to find anyone else up to my standard. I'm handsome, charismatic, funny, confident, capable, modest. I basically have every positive characteristic a guy can have.
Wow. Everything you just said is so absurd, I don't even know how to reply to it. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's not how people act in the workplace, especially not when they're handing in their resignation letters. It was honestly awkward to witness, and I wasn't the only one at the office who thought so.
Well, I guess we were young. That's just how people are around that age. You're overthinking this.
Young? Are you for real? You were 31 years old, Biff. If you think that justifies elementary school level behavior in the workplace, I think this conversation is beyond my capabilities. How about, I don't know, seeing a shrink maybe?
Geez, Denise, how about you give me a break for once? Can't we just let bygones be bygones? I've grown a lot as a person since then, so you don't have to worry about me doing anything crazy anymore.
Who you are now is totally irrelevant to me, and I literally could not care less.
Quit sulking, it's petty. Look, babe, I admire your feisty stubbornness, I really do. But if anything, I like it more when you're like this, because when you play hard to get, your cute side comes out.
So?
Huh?
So what do you want?
What do you mean?
It's been 7 years. The reason we broke up in the first place was because you were horrible to me about my age. Do you have any idea how crappy you saying all those things made me feel? I'm 33 years old now. Why would you want us to get back together after all this time? I just don't get it. None of what you're saying makes any sense at all.
Well, how to put this? Look, I'm bored of dating younger girls now. First of all, we have nothing to talk about. I don't even know what half the crap these young girls babble on about these days. What even is a TikTok? Never heard of it. Maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's not like I date them for their personalities. I date them for their butts, boobs, and pretty faces, and I ain't ashamed to deny it, but the problem is that these young girls' values and money sense is totally different to mine. Oh yeah, not to forget the most important one, I got frickin' cheated on.
Wow.
That girl, Rena, she said she'd rather be with a young, handsome guy close to her age. Look, babe, what I'm about to tell you never leaves this chat, okay? But she said to me, I can never be satisfied with an old man like you. You just don't stimulate me in the right places.
Oh my God, Biff. That was so rude. Oh, please forgive me. Okay, I'll calm down, I promise. Rena must be, what, 25 now? And you're 38? I see. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if your stamina levels and, urges weren't very well matched to one another?
Who knows? Maybe. The bottom line is, we broke up. I still feel kind of pathetic over the whole thing. Look, it was only a few weeks ago. Anyway, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me and you to get back together. You know, rekindle our old flame. So what do you say, sugar tits? Should we make another go of it? We're both in our 30s now, and I'm only 5 years older than you, so I doubt we'll even notice the difference. Besides, when you think about it, it's pretty obvious that this is the best opportunity you're ever going to get. You're 33, and well past your prime, so let's get back together. You must be seriously panicking about the prospect of never finding a man who'll marry you, right? Well, here I am, the solution to your problem.
And what, that's supposed to be why I'm supposed to come running back into your arms? Have you been smoking crack?
Come on, Denise, look, the whole hard-to-get thing is wearing thin now. This is obviously a crazy good offer for you. All right, well, that settles it. Me and you are officially a couple again. Excellent, superb, fantastic, magnificent. I can't wait for the make-up love making. Okay, babe, I'll head over to your place. Tell me your address and I'll be on my way.
Why?
Oh, 'cause starting today I'll be moving in with you. Me and you are going to be living together again, baby. Ain't that great?
Biff, I'm already married.
To me, seriously. Would you just be honest with me for a change? Look, you must be overwhelmed with joy at the chance to get back with a stud like me. So why not just admit it?
I'm overwhelmed with something, but it isn't joy. Try disgust.
I'm not kidding, babe. If you're not honest with me now, I'm not going to hang around forever. If I change my mind now, I'll never give you another chance. But I know this whole thing must feel a little weird for you, what with us having been apart these last 7 years, but that measly 7-year gap will feel like it never happened after one night of hot, steamy romance. And before you know it, the flame of our passion will be rekindled.
You are literally the biggest cringelord I've ever had the misfortune of meeting.
Stop it. And how many times do I have to tell you this isn't the time for jokes? Denise, come on. Just say what's really on your mind. It must have been real tough for you, not seeing me for 7 years. I bet you thought about me every day, right? Well, this is finally your chance to tell me how painful it's been, how much you've longed for my tender touch, for the warmth of my big muscular body pressed up against yours, the minty smell of my breath as I whisper sweet nothings into your ears.
I'm gonna vomit.
Huh?
I think I'm actually gonna vomit.
Denise, you intend on sticking with this hard-to-get act, huh?
I'm being bluntly honest with you, Biff. What else can I even say? You willfully misinterpret everything I say to convince yourself I'm actually head over heels in love with you.
Oh, come on, that's silly talk. You know I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is telling you I'm willing to take you back even though you're 33. You do realize if you waste this opportunity, you'll end up growing old, alone, and childless. Tormented on a daily basis by the thought of what could have been if only you hadn't been so stubborn.
I can assure you, you don't have to worry about me. I'm fine without you, thanks.
You are so not fine, Denise. That's why I'm trying to help you. Look, be honest with me already, goddammit.
Biff, why did you just ignore me when I told you I'm married?
Huh? Quit fooling around. There ain't a guy on this planet who'd marry a used-up, old 33-year-old past her prime like you. If you don't take me up on my kindness here, you're done for.
Go on then, I'll humor you. That's clearly not true. Because people are finding love, and having kids, at all ages these days. Your hateful ideas have no basis in reality, and to be honest, I'm actually impressed you believe in them yourself, because you only have to take a walk around the city to see what I'm talking about. People are getting married later and later these days, and that goes for both men and women.
Sure, maybe that's true, but you're obviously an exception because you think about me every day. How can you find love with someone else when I'm the only man in your heart?
Yep, there you go again. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Huh? What do you mean?
I genuinely don't understand it. I have absolutely no idea what makes you think I think about you every day.
Huh?
Do you fail to understand basic English? I said I don't understand what makes you think that.
Because our hearts are connected. And not speaking for 7 years don't change that. A love as true and pure as ours never disappears.
Our hearts are connected? I'm pretty sure any kind of connection we had disintegrated the moment you broke up with me.
No way. That ain't true.
Let me say it one more time. I got married ages ago.
No way.
I have 3 children.
WTF? What the hell? You serious? You have 3 kids?
Huh? So this is the part where you suddenly start taking me seriously?
But why? Yeah. But how could you have kids with some other dude when you still have feelings for me? How could you do something so absurd? I get that the thought of growing old, alone, and childless must have been terrifying, but to think you would ignore and repress your own feelings like that.
Ugh, I'm sick of telling you. Any feelings I had for you died a long time ago.
Huh?
You know, it's funny. They say it takes time to get over a breakup, but not with you. I was over you the moment you said all of those hurtful things. My feelings for you were as warm as a North Pole glacier.
No way.
I wouldn't get back with you even if the human race was about to go extinct.
Oh my God.
You need to get your head checked out, Biff, because this behavior is not normal.
No way, this can't be. I don't have anywhere to live.
Wait, what?
Listen, babe, the thing is, I've been really struggling to find a job ever since I quit my old one. Moved to New York to live with Rena. And she did fine. She found something else within her first month of arriving, but I don't know if it's because she's young. But she got used to life here straight away, and before I knew it, she had a job and was out socializing with her co-workers and making a bunch of friends, and I feel like I don't fit in here at all. It's like I slipped through the cracks and everyone forgot about me. I feel like a shadow of my former self. I can barely look people in the eye anymore. Even leaving the house is a challenge. I haven't seen daylight in a week.
Basically, you were lounging around at home all day like some lazy, neat sloth lord while Rita was out working to pay the bills? Then she kicked you out on the streets after reaching her wit's end with you after 7 years of providing for her man-child boyfriend? Did I hit the bullseye, or did I hit the bullseye?
No way. That's not how it happened. Well, not exactly.
Yep, so you were sponging off her then.
You don't have to put it so coldly.
How about you answer the question I'm asking instead of taking offense with how I'm asking it? Rena probably felt anxious and uncertain about the future when she realized you were nothing but a leech who was quite happy to sponge off her hard work while lazing around the house all day. So instead of risking her entire future on someone clearly unreliable, she did the sensible thing and gave up on you instead. It might sound weird coming from me, but I think she did well to put up with you for a whole 7 years.
But
Biff, you do know you're almost 40 years old now, right? It's bad enough to be unemployed at your age, but the fact you're unemployed and not looking for work is nothing short of a disaster. Is there a reason you're not looking for work?
Well, not exactly.
If you're totally without options, why not just go back home and live with your parents? It might not seem very appealing, but I don't see what choice you have if you're not willing to look for work.
But they disowned me when I quit my job to move to New York 7 years ago.
I see. Find a job in the city then? You're in New York, Biff. There's work for those who really want it.
But I haven't worked for 7 years, and leaving the house is scary. Besides, I don't even know what kind of jobs to apply for. I saw an article the other day about how AI is taking people's jobs. How can you seriously expect me to be able to find a job when the world's gone to the dogs?
I'm not sure you have time to be making excuses, Biff. Tick-tock.
Anyway, the work can wait. I need to do something about the more pressing matter of not having anywhere to sleep. I got it. How about I come stay over at your place for a little while? You know, maybe just for a few weeks while I find something.
Have you no conception of how ridiculous you sound?
Look, if your husband's upset with me being there, how about we both bow down to him in apology, and I'll do all the housework to show him how grateful I am. All right, that settles it. Give me your address.
No way. You are not staying with us.
What?
Why should I have to bow down to anyone?
No, listen.
Besides, I'm not even in New York anymore.
Huh, what?
My husband and I moved to his hometown when we got married.
You gotta be joking me. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but relying on your ex-girlfriend clearly isn't the answer.
But
If you have enough time on your hands to be boring me with this bullcrap, get your ass down to the job center, you lazy bum. Can you believe how delusional that guy is? I knew he was bad news when he broke up with me, but after what happened today, I'm convinced he's even more mentally unstable than I first thought. After I blocked him, he managed to get through to his parents after spam calling them in a desperate panic to find a place to stay. Apparently, when he finally got through to them, he mentioned my name. As for what exactly was said, we found out later through a phone call from Biff's mom to my parents' place. His mom told mine that apparently I had begged his parents to forgive him for what he did and let him move back in with them. Obviously, when my dad spoke to me about it, he and my mom immediately realized it was a big steaming pile of bullshit and passed on the message to his parents. A few days later, his mom and dad called mine directly and apologized profusely. They must have realized he was too dangerous to be let loose on society because within a few days, his dad bundled him into the back of a van, drove him back to their hometown, and now forces him to work heavy manual labor on their farm, day in and day out. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Can you believe how arrogant Biff was? Jeez, talk about delusional. If you've ever known a Biff, let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.